Hey lady, got that whole world.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sophia. Welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm doing another cooking segment, but today I'm basically teaching you guys how to make cupcakes, how to bake cupcakes. And I don't even think it's really teaching, I'm just like bringing you along my baking process. So yeah, let's just have fun with today's video and enjoy. So obviously first thing I do is I line some cupcake tins and preheat the oven. Next step is to start mixing up the batter. So for me, I'm doing two different batters, which is why you can see I have two different tins. On the left side you can see there's vanilla extract, which I'm doing vanilla cupcakes, and on the right side there's cocoa powder where I'm doing chocolate cupcakes. Yeah, so as you can see I've already added some eggs, 2 eggs, and I've also added some melted margarine, blue band, whatever you want to call it. Okay, the next thing I do is I add the cocoa powder and I add the vanilla extract to the separate batches. But a tip for you guys now, since I'm older and I'm more mature and I've learned more since I made these cupcakes, what you should do with the cocoa powder is first mix it with a bit of water so that it's liquid, to make it easier to mix, because right now you can see it's like a whole big mess. So basically next thing I do is I whisk both batches. Yeah, so right here you can literally see the mess that I was talking about. It's literally just a whole struggle to mix it, so mix it with some hot water before you do this. After mixing the wet ingredients, you leave them to chill on the side and you get some new bowls and you mix your dry ingredients. The dry ingredients in this case are basically flour, sugar, some salt, baking powder, and yeah, that's basically what the dry ingredients are. You put them all together, you mix them up nicely, you combine them, and then you add the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Now that the wet ingredients have gone into the dry ingredients, the next step is to literally just mix it up completely. So as you can see, when you mix it gets a bit clumpy. What you do is, or what I do rather, is I just add a little bit of milk at a time to just make it like loose until it's like a nice consistency. And basically that's just what I do. And if I make it like too light, I add a bit of flour. But something I can tell you from like experience, like I said, you might want to just make your cupcake batter a little thicker than mine, because mine ended up being like too wet, so the cupcakes like fell in the oven, which you don't want. So yeah, make sure you just make it like dropping consistency. Yeah, so basically the next thing I did, which literally took my whole life, was filling the cupcake tin. So basically now I just like I used a spoon to do this. As you can see, you can use an ice cream scoop or a piping bag or just a regular spoon. You know, you can use whatever, like it's up to you and your preferences. For me, I like the big spoon because I knew I could just use like 3 spoonfuls, which would be enough for my cupcakes and like enough to give them space to rise and everything. So as you can see, you don't fill it all the way to the top, because if you do, my friend, Next thing I do is I clean up the edges of the tin. This is absolutely not necessary. I just like to do it because when you leave the like little drops everywhere, like when it goes in the oven, they cook as well, and then it starts to smell like it's burning. So that always makes me feel like my cupcakes are burning. So I just like to like not have it when it's going into the oven. So basically, yeah, I just wipe them all up and then I place them in the oven for like 20 minutes.
20 minutes later.
So now I took the cupcakes out of the oven, but first I did the knife test where you stick a knife into them to check whether they're done, and then I put in the second batch of cupcakes. Then now here I had a little bit of batter left over, so I decided to make my tiny little cupcakes. I call them cupcakes for ants because they're literally so cute, but they're so small. It's literally like a one bite. So I just spread those all over the baking tray. I was about to say baking tin, all over the baking tray, and then I filled them with the respective vanilla and chocolate batter. Because these cupcakes are so much smaller, I decided to use a teaspoon instead of a big spoon, but it's still the same concept of filling them into the cupcake tins. So after I was done, I basically just pulled out the second batch from the oven and put in now this third and final batch of cupcakes so that I could get started on making my buttercream icing while those cooked. Okay, so buttercream icing is literally like my favorite thing ever. I literally love it so much and it's so yummy, and the process is really simple. You just get some blue band. I soften it in a microwave for literally like 5 seconds, like very little time, and then you just get your icing sugar, mix it in, and you just keep mixing, and you add as much icing sugar until you feel like you do, until you feel like it's enough, until you feel like you want to stop, until your ancestors tell you, hold on, sis, that's a bit too much. So just like the way I'm mixing it right there, you just keep mixing and adding sugar, mixing, adding sugar, and eventually the more you do it, the blue band gets softer and the icing, like it just all comes together. Like as you can see, it gets smoother and smoother, and you just keep adding sugar so that you can have more icing. So I didn't film the whole thing because it's literally such a long process, but I ended up using that entire packet of sugar. As you can see, I'm still going and still mixing, which was fun, I'm not gonna lie, because it tastes so good. Honestly, I wish you could taste it through the screen. I just wish. Oh wow, would you look at that? Here's me emptying out that sugar packet. But anyways, basically I just finished mixing it up and it all got real cute and it looked really nice. So since I had two types of cupcakes, I separated this one main buttercream into two separate bowls for my two separate icings, which I basically just flavored with a bit of the vanilla essence and the cocoa powder, and I did a bit of food coloring. I colored them. And yeah, basically I just kept mixing. That's literally, that was it. So after mixing until I got my desired color, I transferred the icing into that little bag that you can see there. I had one for the red and the brown icing, and yeah, that's basically it. After that, I just put them in the fridge and then ice the cupcakes later. I don't have pictures, unfortunately. I'll look for some, but like I can't guarantee I'll find them. But yeah, basically that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, you comment, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in my next video next week, as usual. Bye. So yeah, basically guys, this is just me like transferring the icing and stuff. If you want to see more videos like this, you know, just let me know, text me, tell me how you feel, tell me what you want to see, what you want me to do, and like I'm down with everything. I'm down with whatever. Yeah, also watch the videos on screen right now. Don't be fake. Don't be fake.